I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Auto Club Speedway as it plays host to our 16th race of the inaugural season of the NNSCRA Duracell Ultra Lite Series. Getting ready for some 2-mile speedway / super speedway racing, depending on how you want to look at it. And only 5 races, including today, left on the schedule until we determine the inaugural Duracell Ultra Lite Series champion. That driver will, of course, go on to a chartered entry next year in the Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. A lot on the line here this weekend, obviously, for the Cup cars. The playoffs will be coming to the regular season will be coming to a conclusion tomorrow afternoon. The playoffs will begin. For these drivers, they don't have a playoffs. It is whoever gets the most points during the course of the season is going to be crowned the champion, and we've got some former winners that are trying to look for a late season push for that title starting on the front row. On that pole position is going to be the 26 of Kyle Langland. Kyle comes into this race 11th in overall points, 50 points out of the points lead. Of course, a former winner from Devil's Bowl, and he is looking here today to pick up his second victory on the season, get back up in the top 10 in points, and make his way closer towards the top of the point standings to claim that championship. He'll be alongside of another driver who's most recently gone to victory lane back at Atlanta. That would be Aaron Macklin. Now, Macklin ended up gaining spots after his victory at Atlanta, but last week, after a poor performance at Bristol Dirt, which was, to say the least, a very chaotic race, Aaron Macklin dropped 3 spots in the standings. He is 16th in overall points, 66 points out of the points lead, so needs a lot of help. Needs to at least find victory lane again, I think, between now and the end of the season to get himself into the championship conversation, which right now, that conversation remains a mano-a-mano battle between Eric Monaco and Benny Watson. Last week, it was Eric Monaco getting the better of the two's battle. He is now the new points leader by 1 point over Benny Watson coming into this week. Austin Reed is still in the conversation. He is 3rd in overall points, 30 points out. Other drivers that are also still in that conversation, but not really in close proximity. Stephen Burnside, he is 31 points out. John Lightning Jr. is 32 points out. And Roberto Crown Jr. is 34 points back. Madeline Crenshaw suffered a poor performance last week, dropped from 4th down to 7th in the overall standings. She is 38 points out of the points lead. But any of those drivers I mentioned could easily, here today with a victory, jump up into the conversation with Monaco and Watson for the overall points lead and potentially the championship. We'll see what these 38 laps have in store. Let's go down trackside and get those most famous words in motorsports. Right side of your screen, you see your starting lineup for this afternoon's event. Going to be interesting to see what type of racing we'll have here with the Lites drivers in preparation for tomorrow's Cup Series race. A lot of space here. You can see 5 distinct grooves from the apron up to the outside wall there through the corners. That continues on here down the long back straightaway, over into 3 and 4, and then the wide sweeping left-hand front straightaway. A lot of room for these drivers to race. Pit road maybe will come into play here today. I don't know. It's a little under 40 laps. Don't know what the fuel tank is for these drivers. We know we'll have fuel strategy tomorrow afternoon, as they'll be running 63 laps here at Auto Club. But who's got the strongest car? Who can manipulate the draft the best here? All those different things going to come into play into who's going to be able to take the checkered flag. It's the Ford of Kyle Langland, the Toyota of Aaron Macklin. A couple former winners on the season looking to join David Dixon, Benny Watson, and most recently Virgil Alonso as a repeat winner on the season. As down into the restart zone they come, and Kyle Langland gets us underway here in California. Wide already, mid-pack, 2 rows, 3 rows deep. A lot of movement there off of turn 2 as drivers get themselves positioned on the back straightaway. Much like a super speedway, trying to get lined up in a single file formation, create that good straight line speed, and then slide it off here into 3 and 4. Kyle Langland going to lead the first lap of this race. Kat Batson on the top side going to move into second with a big push from last week's winner, Virgil Alonso. Batson with the crossover through 1 and 2, looking for the lead. David Dixon, 3-time winner on the season. Going to move down there with her. Batson will go to the lead, but now slides up the track and opens up the door for Dixon, who's looking for his series-leading 4th win on the year. They're 5 wide in the middle of the pack. Now settled back out to 4 wide, 2 rows deep. Now only 1 formation of 4 wide. That's Cole Koibe that's stuck in the middle of that, along with Nathan Fogler. Looks like they may have settled that out to 3 wide. 4 wide again with Benny Watson and Kyle Langland. Watson now, backside of that, we're back to 3 wide formation. Now we're 4 wide for the lead as Roberta Crown Jr. slid up the track. Sophia Simon's going to put her foot into the gap there, and here comes Eric Monaco looking for his first lap lead of the day. And look who's right behind him, Benny Watson. You cannot get these two away from each other. Sophia Simon led that lap though. Now Monaco slides up the track. Watson to the inside. He's got Nathan Fogler to the inside of him. Nobody, for the time being able to hold on to the top spot as near contact back there between John Lightning Jr. and Reese Banks as they're 5 wide. Cole Koibe's in the middle of that. Oh, they're going to make contact, and into the wall goes Samet Oskan. Austin Reed as well, and a couple of others have hit hard. I believe that was Steven Burnside and Kat Batson. Caution's going to wave for the first time here today at Auto Club. Aaron Macklin leads them back to the yellow. And there is Burnside, who took a hard hit late after the initial incident. He and Kat Batson got together. Samet Oskan and Austin Reed were the first 2 up into the outside wall. There is the 39 of Batson, all pushed in on the front end. And there's the 24 of Austin Reed. That was 3rd and 4th in points that were involved in those 2 separate incidents. Reed 3rd in points and Burnside 4th in the standings. Needing a good run here today to get into that conversation for the points lead. And they, along with Batson and Samet Oskan, with quite a bit of damage as we've got some split strategy here with this early yellow. Looks like Aaron Macklin, Madeline Crenshaw, Skylar Taylor going to stay out. Whereas Nathan Fogler, Cody Smart, Virgil Alonso, and others, they're going to come to pit lane. Let's take a look at the replay of what went down. It initially starts with Samet Oskan and Austin Reed. Oskan was on the top side of the 5 wide situation. And we're going to see, if you look on the left side of your screen as we bring this replay up, They were leaning on each other. Burnside, John Lightning Jr., Cole Koibe, and Cat Batson. Contact is made. It sends them up into Samadoskan. And nowhere for Austin Reed to be able to go as the 25 slid into his path. And then you saw the hit afterward there with Steven Burnside and Cat Batson. I think the 45 of David Dixon might have hooked somebody. And that's what sent the 11 up the racetrack. It might have been Dixon that got Steven Burnside. We'll see here. Oh, it was actually Burnside that gets Dixon, and that snaps him loose, and he goes straight up into the outside safer barrier. And Cat Batson has nowhere to be able to go. Here's a look at it in real time on board of the Aussie Hair Products number 39 of Cat Batson. Narrowly had the first part of it avoided. Couldn't avoid the second part. And that hit is going to take Cat Batson out of this race early. Same can be said for Steven Burnside. Both drivers have made that left-hand turn into the infield. Looks like Samadoskan and Austin Reed, they were able to repair those cars, get them back out there. The question of how up to speed they're going to be, though, will be yet to be answered. Obviously, Auto Club, a very aerodynamic track. Cat Batson came into this race 14th in overall points, 66 points out of the points lead, so the opportunity for her to win this championship looking slimmer and slimmer. And for Steven Burnside, needed a good run here today after he jumped up 2 spots in the standings from 6th to 4th last week at Bristol Dirt. Was 31 points out, but he will lose more than likely the ground that he gained last week here this afternoon with a DNF in 21st place. Cat Batson will get credited for 20th. Aaron Macklin, our winner from a couple of weeks ago, going to be the one that will lead us back to green. He, along with the top 4, elected to stay out under this caution, so Madeline Crenshaw will line up in 2nd, Skylar Taylor in 3rd, and Cole Koibe in 4th. Nathan Fogler, who was the first on, first off of pit road, will recycle to 5th for the upcoming restart. Virgil Alonso will line up behind him in 6th, Benny Watson in 7th, then Sophia Simon, Polster, Kyle Langland, and Roberta Crown Jr. going to be the top 10. Last week, Virgil Alonso able to pull off yet some more strategy at Bristol Dirt. We saw him pull off strategy at Charlotte to pick up his first win. Now a multi-time winner on the season. His victory, however, last week only garnered him 2 additional spots in the standings. 18th in overall points, 68 points out of the points lead. He's going to need to continue the run he's been on if he's going to get up there in the championship conversation. Those 2 victories, obviously, highlights for him. He's not had a whole lot of else in terms of success, as he's only had 2 other top 5 finishes this season, and every top 5 that he's had has been his only top 10s on the year. But the 2 wins, or the 2 in the win column, looks awfully good for driver 52. Lights out atop the pace car, so we'll get ready to go back green at this time by. Update on the 17 of Cody Smart, something that's just taken place. He has fallen a lap down due to an unscheduled stop. They are just now sending him back out. Not certain what the issue was for him. I would have to assume maybe something mechanical. They brought him down pit road. He's lost a lap. He will have to try and get it back the hard way. Now scored in the 19th position. Former winner on the season, Cody Smart. 17th in overall points coming to this one, 67 points out of the top position. So Aaron Macklin going to lead them back to this upcoming restart. It'll be with 30 laps to go. With the caution coming out and 4 drivers staying out, most everybody coming to pit lane, it says to me that they would have had to have made a pit stop between the green flag and the checkered flag. I'm not certain about the strategy of the top 4 and not coming to pit lane, but we'll see how it pans out. as Aaron Macklin will lead them into turn number 1. We saw them double wide, 3 wide, 4 wide, and 5 wide in the opening stages. Now with them being single filed on this restart, how anxious will they be to get back to those high row formations? Madeline Crenshaw with a nice run there, little side draft down the back straightaway. She's going to edge ahead to the point. Crenshaw, former winner this season at Suzuka, was 4th in overall points going into Bristol Dirt last week, but dropped 3 spots and stands now to 7th, looking to gain those spots back. Nathan Vogler, who we know was the highest restarter, that is the best on fuel, was looking for 2nd place, but he gets shuffled up to the top side. It's going to be Nathan Stapleton, actually, that's going to try and move to 2nd. Here comes Roberto Crown Jr. with a big push. And right behind him is Benjamin Snyder in the 50. Snyder now going to make it 3, almost 4 wide for what now is going to be the race lead. Sophia Simon on the bottom now, 4 wide for the top position. Who led that lap? Scoring said it was the 22 of Crenshaw, but not by much. Sophia Simon now going to move to the race lead, and look how the car enters in low, slides up the racetrack. The proverbial slide job, and ooh, we are looking 5 wide again here right at the front, and it's going to put a couple of cars in the wall, including Sophia Simon and Roberto Crown Jr. Caution will wave for the 2nd time today here at the Auto Club Speedway. As back to the line, it's going to be David Dixon, just barely the splitter of his Toyota over Eric Monaco and Virgil Alonso. And it looks like Madeline Crenshaw was the other driver. I couldn't identify who it was that was up into the wall with Roberto Crown Jr., but it looks like it was the 21 and the 22 that were up into the safer barrier in 3 and 4. And Sophia Simon with rear end damage as well. A 3-car incident, bringing out our 2nd yellow flag of the day. Looks like everybody's coming down pit road here under this caution period. And for drivers that elected to stay out there, like an Aaron Macklin or a Cole Coiby, that might have helped them to gain track position. Obviously for Madeline Crenshaw, though, who was another of the drivers who had stayed out, that did not pan out the way she was planning, as she now has a damaged race car. So as drivers make their way down pit road here for what might be the only pit stop they'll have to make today, let's go back and see what happened. You kind of felt that they weren't going to be able to make it through 3 and 4 in that 5 wide situation. That was not only 5 wide, that was a very tight 5 wide, not a lot of room being given. We'll show you just how much room there was entering onto the back straightaway here from our aerial view. Nathan Vogler almost into the left rear quarter panel of Snyder. Roberto Crown Jr. almost into the right rear, and then I think he ends up actually hooking the 50 up into the 38. That sends him up into the 22 as well. And so Roberto Crown Jr., Madeline Crenshaw, a couple of former winners on the season, and the 38 of Sophia Simon, who's just trying to find a little bit of luck here this year, all now with damage, and putting us under the caution for the 2nd time here today. David Dixon wins the battle off of pit road. He'll be leading Eric Monaco, Nathan Vogler, Benny Watson, and Virgil Alonso back to green when the green flag does fly. Not yet to the halfway point, and working our 2nd caution of the afternoon. We're going to step aside for a quick NNSCRA TV race break, and then we'll be back here to the action from Auto Club Speedway for the Duracell Ultra Lite Series. Welcome you back here to Auto Club Speedway, getting ready to go back green flag racing, as so far we have been under the yellow for most of this race. 8 of the completed 15 laps have been under the caution. Both of our cautions due to 5 wide formations that have gone wrong, not a lot of room being given. 2 cars back in the garage area as a result. Kat Batts and Stephen Burnside. Cody Smart, you see there on the inside line, is a lap down. And David Dixon, looking for his series-leading 4th win on the season, will be the one to get us back underway. Points leader Eric Monaco right behind him in 2nd. Nathan Fogler will line up in 3rd. Benny Watson, 2nd in points, will restart in 4th. And then 2-time winner, last week's race winner, Virgil Alonso is going to complete the top 5. Pole sitter Kyle Langland lines up right behind them in the 6th position as the green flag is back in the air. Cody Smart, to my knowledge, is up to speed. So he might be a bit of a hindrance here for these drivers that are on the lead lap battling for position. Dixon's going to clear him, though, around the top side of 1 and 2. That'll leave them stacked up from 2nd place on back. Nathan Fogler going to try and make quick work of Cody Smart. And here comes Kyle Langland with a big run, a big push from a fellow Blue Oval in Nathan Stapleton. Field thinning out a bit here as we've got some drivers towards the rear of the pack that are damaged and looks like aerodynamically off the pace. Sophia Simon, Roberta Crown Jr., Madeline Crenshaw, all involved in our most recent caution. And then Samet Ozkan, who was involved in the first yellow flag, also way back there. 4 wide up here, though. Doesn't look like these drivers are deterred at all from still going 4 and 5 wide. Benjamin Snyder was right in the middle of that, as was Virgil Alonso. A lot of space that you can utilize here at Auto Club, but you cannot put the squeeze on somebody if you're in a 4 wide or a 5 wide situation, which we've seen the end result of not once but twice here this afternoon. You gotta think that the Cup drivers are keeping an eye on all of that in preparation for tomorrow's regular season finale. The playoffs gonna be beginning at the conclusion of tomorrow afternoon's race here from Auto Club. Few drivers already know that they're going to be in the playoffs competing for the championship, but there's a ton of question marks out there as well. Nearly a dozen driver in must-win scenarios if they're going to get a last-minute spot in the playoffs. Few drivers that are looking to just get points to either cushion themselves from the cut line or get above the 30th standings cut line. A lot of scenarios for tomorrow afternoon. You're not going to want to miss it. This is the 3rd straight week that we have had the Duracell Ultra Light Series drivers and the Cup drivers having a doubleheader, and it continues next week when both the Lights and the Cup drivers will be at Gateway. That'll be the first playoff race for the Duracell Cup Series drivers. And it will mark 4 races remaining for these Light drivers for their inaugural season, as Benny Watson was out in front and led a lap. And now Cole Koibe, his Toyota, goes to the point. Will he lead this lap, though? Nope. Nathan Fogler is going to edge him out. Nathan Fogler going to get his first lap led of the day. Now Benny Watson, Eric Monaco, if we're watching the battle between those two. Watson has led a lap, Monaco has not, so 1 point advantage currently to Benny Watson, who was 1 point behind Eric Monaco for the points lead coming into this one. But as they run currently, Watson is back there in the middle of that 4 wide around the 6th, 7th position. Monaco is about to go to the lead, and he's actually going to lead that lap. So there you go. Cancel out the lap-led bonus point that Benny Watson just picked up. It's going to be really fun to watch these drivers down the home stretch as they've been duking it out back and forth for the points lead really ever since Week 4, Week 5. Also a lot of speculation going on between those two, the favorites at this point to win the championship, even though there are other drivers that could get into the conversation, but a lot of people kind of speculating if it is Watson or Monaco to win the championship. Where do they go next year in that guaranteed chartered Duracell Cup Series ride? A lot of different teams, a lot of openings potentially for next year. Jack Mitchell, we saw earlier on this afternoon, attempting to qualify for the Cup race tomorrow. came up just short to another non-charter driver for the final transfer spot. Looking for a little redemption here, but getting the track time there in the Cup car during the 15-minute qualifying session he was a part of. Does that give him a little bit of an added advantage into knowing what the track conditions were here this afternoon in preparation for the closing stages of this race? David Dixon back to the point again, but now Skylar Taylor is going to swing to the inside. We've had a lot of Toyotas up here at the front today. Taylor and Dixon and Fogler and Watson, Aaron Macklin, Cole Koibe. A lot of movement right there in the middle of the pack with Snyder and I believe that was Langland. As David Dixon gets back to left rear of Skylar Taylor, looks to side draft back to the point. Benjamin Snyder side by side with Eric Monaco for third, and they will have traffic up ahead to deal with. That's the 25 of Samet Ozkan, who is badly damaged from the first caution of the day, the wreck up in turn 4. He's running 176 miles per hour right now. The field is barreling down him at over 190 miles per hour. And he's going to be a bit of a moving chicane for them here as they encounter him on the front straightaway. They're going to split him 3 wide. Some go to the top, some go to the bottom. Aaron Macklin chose the wrong lane, though. He's going to get kind of held up behind. Now he'll get to the inside. Looks like everybody, for the most part, is going to clear him, but there is a bit of a gap now from Monaco back to Macklin. We'll see if that 3 or 4 drivers that got held up for a brief moment by the 25 will be able to catch back up. They probably will with them going 3 and 4 wide, and I think we got some drivers diving to pit road. We do. Benjamin Snyder, John Lightning Jr., Benny Watson, Kyle Langland, Virgil Alonso, and Austin Reed all diving onto pit lane. These have to be regularly scheduled stops, which meant they couldn't have made it the rest of the way. This might be the money stop for these drivers. And I think I just saw Nathan Fogler there. Did he come to pit road the lap prior? I think he did. I think he's already made a pit stop. Scoring says he has. So he jumped the gun and pitted much earlier than everybody else. Here comes some more onto pit lane. A trio of Toyotas with Taylor, Dixon, and Macklin. You've also got Eric Monaco, Nathan Stapleton, Cole Koibe, and the lap machine of Cody Smart. Here comes Samet Ozkan on pit road as well. That leaves Jack Mitchell out there all by his lonesome. He goes an extra lap, which could be important here in the closing stages, depending on just how close these drivers are on fuel. And when he hits the line, provided his pit stall is past the start-finish line, we will be at 10 laps to go. Jack Mitchell stays out an extra lap here in the McDonald's Chevrolet. Not certain about the strategy here. We'll see how it plays out. You mentioned that this racetrack is a speedway slash super speedway. The super speedway aspect is draft is super, super important. And with Jack Mitchell running out here by his lonesome for these 2 laps, and if he's not able to merge with anybody after his pit stop, he's going to be at a deficit in terms of lap times and being able to keep his track position. Looks like he's coming in this time by. Very aggressive entry into pit road, but he didn't have to adhere to anybody else's braking zone. As Skylar Taylor, after all this, will maybe cycle out to the race lead. David Dixon, Eric Monaco, and Benjamin Snyder trying to reel him in. Got a number of drivers you'll see scored a lap down, but we got to wait for everything to cycle. This is all due to Jack Mitchell staying out as long as he did. Once Mitchell's pit stop is complete and everything cycles back, we should only have, I think, a couple of drivers that are off the lead lap. But it is a 4-car breakaway here with Taylor, Dixon, Monaco, and Snyder. Taylor, the only one out of these 4 that has not previously gone to victory lane this season. Then behind them, you've got a group of about 5, 6, 7 that are trying to close up, being led by Benny Watson. Kyle Langland's in this pack, along with Nathan Stapleton, John Lightning Jr., Cole Koibe. They got to get themselves organized out here. This is what they need as well, is for these guys to be racing double wide and 3 wide, because with the side draft, you actually slow down the driver beside you. And while these drivers are running over 200 miles per hour, they are going to suffer in terms of the lap times as opposed to the other group. I think Jack Mitchell managed to get out ahead of these guys, though. Yeah, he still scored the race leader. Now, I don't think he's going to keep the gap he's got between himself and this pack of 4. They're going to reel him in pretty quickly, but the strategy worked out, and he gained a ton of track position. He'll also have the freshest tires here, as he'll hit the line for 7 laps to go. Jack Mitchell, 15th in overall points, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s in the first 15 races this year. Looking for that checkered flag, maybe a little redemption for not being able to participate in tomorrow afternoon's Cup Series race here from Auto Club. He's got a little over 2 seconds back to this group. That will get chipped away, but maybe not as quickly as one would have thought, because of the fact that they're continuing to race side by side with each other. And that third pack further back, they're getting themselves organized up single file a bit here, but it's not looking like they're closing up the gap nearly as quickly as I was expecting them to. It's about 2.2 seconds from the leader of this pack to the tail end of this group. And that last time by, it looks like the gap of 2.2 seconds from Mitchell back to second place closed up about 0.6 to 1.6 seconds. So they should reel him in within the next 2.5, 3 laps. Jack Mitchell, though, that strategy call might garner him the bonus point for most laps led. He just led his 8th lap of the day, which ties him with David Dixon for the most so far. And I think he'll maybe lead this next lap around before this group of 4 reels him in. David Dixon would have to get back to the lead in order to counter the 9 laps led by Jack Mitchell. But Skylar Taylor now has caught the slipstream, has caught the draft, and might make the move here out of turn 4 for the top position. Can Mitchell hold him off to lead this lap? Yes, he can, barely. But Taylor's to his inside, and he'll go for the race lead with 4 laps to go here at Auto Club. It is now a 5-car fight at the front. Taylor, Snyder, Monaco, Dixon, and Mitchell. And then still a pretty sizable gap of nearly 2 seconds back to this other group with Watson, Alonso, Koibe, and others. They might have run out of time. Eric Monaco now side by side with Benjamin Snyder. Slow car up ahead. That's the 25 of Samit Ozkan again, and I think they're going to catch him before this race is over. Still 6 miles left to run. That could be the break that second pack needs if that 25 slows up these top 5. Jack Mitchell's got the freshest tires, and he's going 3 wide for third. On Skylar Taylor, David Dixon has gone back to the point. Mitchell now 3 wide for second place here on the front straightaway as they're catching up to the 25. If they catch him in the corner, that's going to be really dangerous. And it looks like that's going to be the case. Where does David Dixon go? Where's the 25 going to go? Oh, Dixon chose the wrong line. He almost ran into the back of Samit Ozkan. And it checked everybody up with the exception of Benjamin Snyder. Snyder is going to get away. And he's going to have a pretty sizable gap now. Back to second place, Skylar Taylor. Mitchell now into third. Dixon and Monaco paid the biggest price for that. And here comes that second group. White flag will be in the air, this time by Benjamin Snyder, who picked up a victory at Armory Digital Super Speedway earlier on this season. Going to have to hold off a hard-charging Skylar Taylor. And if Taylor gets alongside and stalls them both out, Jack Mitchell may have a shot for 3 wide on the back straightaway. Down the back stretch, it's Taylor and Snyder. Mitchell with a big run. Can he get to the inside of both these drivers? Here he comes. Looking for the win. Taylor puts the block on him, but Mitchell won't be denied. He'll forge to the inside. It's going to be a drag race back to the stripe. Taylor versus Mitchell. Skylar Taylor by half a car length is going to pick up his first win on the season. Skylar Taylor came into the series midway through the season. He has started 7 less races than everybody else. During the previous 8 starts, he's accumulated 3 top 5s and 4 top 10s. And today, he becomes another driver that picks up a checkered flag here at the Auto Club Speedway. You think to what would be the case for this 54 team if he had run the full season with the numbers he's been able to put up. Comes into this one 200 points behind his nearest competitor, Nathan Stapleton, because of the 7-race deficit. But an extra victory lap here for the Costco Toyota of Skylar Taylor, as he will go to victory lane here today at the Auto Club Speedway in what was a 29 1/1000ths of a second gap between himself and Jack Mitchell. Both those drivers looking for their first victory here of the inaugural season, and Taylor wins out. Skylar Taylor's going to bring his car down pit lane. He'll make a left-hand turn into the infield, and he'll be heading to victory lane here today. Standings are official, and it will be Taylor, Mitchell, and David Dixon that will complete the podium here this afternoon. Benjamin Snyder, who was leading on the white flag lap, will bring it home in 4th. 5th place is going to be Eric Monaco, and he will increase his points gap heading into Gateway next week, as Benny Watson, who was in that second group, faded to the tail end of it to finish in 11th. So Monaco is going to pick up an additional 6 points on Benny Watson. It'll be a 7-point advantage for driver number 4 heading into next week. Virgil Alonso, the momentum continues for the 2-time winner as he gets 6th. Langland, the pole sitter, brought it home 7th. Nathan Stapleton 8th. John Lightning Jr. in 9th. And how about Austin Reed, after being involved in the first caution, had some right side damage. They repaired it, and he salvages a top 10. So still keeps himself at least mathematically in the conversation for this championship, but he needs for Eric Monaco and Benny Watson to hit a wall in these final 4 races. Rest of your finishing results on down through Madeline Crenshaw, who was the last car on the lead lap. Cody Smart, after an unscheduled pit stop under the second caution, 1 lap down in 18th. Sam Oskin fell 2 laps down during the green flag run. And Cat Batts and Stephen Burnside out of the race after the first caution did not reach the conclusion. They finished in the 20th and 21st positions. Great race here today at Auto Club. Maybe a little sketch in terms of the room given in those 5-wide situations, but if that gives us a template of what to expect tomorrow afternoon, we are going to see some close quarter wide action in terms of 3, 4, maybe even 5 wide. And oh yeah, by the way, playoff spots are on the line. You're not going to want to miss it as we get ready to cap off what's been an incredible weekend so far here at the Auto Club Speedway. Skylar Taylor, first career win here this afternoon. Congratulations to him. If you guys enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. We have shown you the full page results, and you're now looking at your point standings. Only 4 races remain for these Duracell Ultra Light Series drivers. Season continues next week at Gateway. But until then, and until tomorrow afternoon, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing at its best.